Hi, this is Dr. Gary. Welcome to our tune-up. Many of you have contacted me over the years and had one particular thing that bothered you or another thing that bothers you, but over the last few days I had a contact from one of our viewers that brought my attention back to this serious little issue that many of us have and wanted my help to kind of clear things up so they could understand their own emotions about things. And one of the things is we involve ourselves with people, whether it's our spouse, our job, or somebody we're working with, or our children. But the day goes along and all of a sudden somebody does something that just upsets us and we can't let go of it. It ruins our day, in other words. And this person that wrote to me wanted to know what can they do to keep this from happening, because whether you're working with a subcontractor, you ask someone to do a job for you and you're paying them, however, then they don't perform and they just are rude about it and it bothers you. And also understand this is also driven a lot by our moral compass, the ability to do right or wrong, the ability to perceive working for others and doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And I believe inherently everyone has good intentions to start with, but sometimes money, control, personal issues can get in the way of that, and then things fall apart. One of the things I want you to understand, what drives this ability you have to let someone else ruin your day, basically goes upstream from that, and it starts with expectations. And I've talked about this on the tune-ups before. However, expectations seem to be the root of all evil. Not money, expectations. Whether it's in a marriage where we expect our spouse to respond in a certain way and they don't, it disappoints us. Or in the instance of my viewer that had a real estate person attempting to sell their house and hasn't done a very good job and isn't, and they're not making their promises that they had kept. Or maybe you're buying a car and the dealer doesn't support your problems that you're having with your automobile. Or it could be anything. It could be grocery shopping, it could be a friend, but somebody doesn't perform built upon the expectations of how we believe it ought to be done based upon our model of the world. So the first thing we have to understand is everyone has a different model of the world, meaning that each one of us have a different reality. And this different reality is built upon our experience, our life, the way we were taught in school, our parenting, the environment where we grew up. It all drives this reality. And then our perceptions are built around this reality, and that becomes our normal. That becomes our baseline for behavior, or what things look like, or how we like to keep our house, or what the yard should look like, using that virus word. So when we have expectations built upon our reality and what we understand and how we understand the world, what happens is we project that on someone else. Now, many times, the terrorists in our life will say, well, you're just projecting your own fears. In this case, that is not what's going on. In the case of my viewer, their particular problem was they weren't projecting it. They had realistic expectations built upon an agreement that somebody made with them, and then the person breaks it. And they're not following through properly, built upon their promise to the client. Also happens in marriages. We marry someone and all of a sudden it isn't turning out the way we thought it would, built upon our expectation and the way they presented themselves in the beginning. So is that our fault, the person who is having our day ruined, or is it the other person's fault? So let's get the word fault out of there. Let's get the idea of somebody has to be right and somebody has to be wrong, and understand those other people that might be offending us or terrorizing our emotions are also operating built upon their model of the world. And what we have to understand is one of the best ways to do this is understand that everybody is a little bit different. Even though we may look the same, sound the same, and speak the same language, our perceptions and our model of the world is different. And that's where the similarities end. For you to control your emotions, you have to understand this and understand that even though somebody may say something that just is not right for you and not the way you would do it, what you can do with it is decide that you had expectations and then built upon those expectations and set yourself up for disappointment. It's like if every time I had you view a video, I expected all of you who watch this to send me an email every week and tell me how much you loved it. So the first time I do a video and nobody sends me an email saying they love it, I would be disappointed because I was expecting that. The best thing for me is to expect nothing, do this because I want to and I want to help, and that is good enough for me. That fills me with my own expectation of fulfilling humanity in the best way I can. But when I expect you all to behave in a certain way, what happens is that now can destroy my good intentions on the way I want to feel because I'm putting way too much control in what other people are doing. And remember, the rule of life is we can only control our thoughts and what we do about our thoughts. We have no control over other people and their behaviors. So I would recommend to the viewer that wrote me regarding this, or any of you that have this challenge, always understand that expectations get in the way of just about everything. Lower your expectations, not on yourself. Have high expectations of yourself because you're in control of that. But when it's other people performing at your level, I wouldn't expect that because that's going to open up the doorstep to a lot of disappointment. Let's work on that and understand that the world is not perfect. People are not perfect, and many times when people are behaving this way, this is nothing more than a little lesson that they can learn. And always remember this, that we can control our frailties because they are under our control, and build upon your virtues, which are the things you do well, and you're going to have a lot better day. So until next time, this is Dr. Gary wishing all of you an extraordinary season, and also remember, if you think you can, or you think you can't, in the words of Henry Ford, you're going to be right. Until next time, this is Dr. Gary. Bye-bye.